Welcome to another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm here today with Bonnie Julius of the Link Library. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Hank. I'm glad you could come out and see me here at Neighbor to Neighbor.
Yeah, we aren't at the Link, but we're talking about the Link, but we're at the Neighbor to Neighbor program that helps with block nursing, Meals on Wheels, and other things.
Oh, many other things. But we wanted to talk about the Link in our upcoming program on the 28th, and that's Dr. Dawn Duncan is coming. She's a professor at Concordia College, and she puts on a one-woman show about the life of Clara Dillon Darrow. Now, Clara, I tried to find some information on her, and I did find that she was married to a very famous doctor in Fargo who started his practice in 1878.
So how's he doing nowadays?
I think he's a little under the weather.
Oh, all right.
Clara was also instrumental, go girls, for getting the woman's right to vote. She was a suffragette in her time. But she was also a pioneer woman and a farm wife. And so she's probably, I guess they called her a leading person in her times. And when Heather and I went to North Dakota, Heather was complaining about all the dirt roads that we were on. And I said, Heather, imagine if you came out here as a young bride back in the late 1800s. I said, you'd be coming out in a wagon pulled by a couple mules instead of your air-conditioned minivan. And it was really hard for Heather to just imagine what it would be like to move out there like Clara did.
Heather is Bonnie's daughter, by the way.
And she's just a little spoiled. But, the hardest thing for Heather to imagine was all the things that they didn't have in those days, especially out in the wilderness. And now Clara, died in 1915. And the hardest thing for Heather, as you probably know, is back then, marshmallows had been around for centuries, but Rice Krispies weren't invented until 1927. So you know what that means.
No Rice Krispie bars.
You got it. And so that would be really hard for her to understand. But Clara was a fascinating person, and you've got to really admire people that picked up and left and went out there and still did so many things.
Well, then you figure crossing the Lake Agassiz Basin in those days was going through grasses that were like anywhere from 6 to 9 feet tall of wild grasses, and they had the ox cart wagons because people asked why they had ox cart wagons and why they were so high. It was so that when they get on top of them, they could see something. But and so this will be on the 28th at what time?
At 1:30 at the Frazee Link site, which is the old high school administration building, and it's attached to the thrift store. And I wanted to point out that Dr. Duncan, not only being a professor, she's an accomplished actress, she's an author, she was an editor, or is, and she's performed this act all over the world. The whole program came up. Bonanzaville requested her to put this show on, and she kind of works on pre-colonial Irish immigrants or Irish Americans, and that's what Clara was. So.
Well, this should be interesting. I'm looking forward, and I think you out in TV3 land should look forward to coming to the Link site on the 28th. And the time again?
1:30 in the afternoon, and I do want to thank the city's Special Events Committee for providing the refreshments for that day.
All right. And with that, we'll be back with another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. Welcome to another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm here today with Barb Miller. Hi, Barb.
Hi, Hank. Thanks for having me.
Well, we welcome you aboard here. It's going to be our 4th annual Freedom Fest.
Yes, it is, and we're excited about it this year. We have some changes in store for everyone, one being our ball field. And we're going to use our ball field this year for our activities, a possible ball game coming up. We're going to have the traditional games, the tug-of-war, the tattoos. We're going to have the water balloon contest, the watermelon eating contest, which is a big hit.
That's the fun one.
That's the fun one. That's the messy one, but all the kids seem to really enjoy that one.
And we'll be doing this down here right in front of the new concession stand, and this is on North River Road or Ballpark Road behind the Frazee High School. So if you were trying to find the ball fields, you need to go east from Main Street on Frazee on US Highway 87 past the high school and make your first turn to the left. And you go down about 3 blocks and you will see us on your left.
Yep, we're going to kick things off at 6 o'clock with our patriotic salute. So please bring your lawn chairs, your blankets, everything that you want to bring. If you have some picnic items you'd like to bring, we will have a meal here available for you. So come on down and enjoy our celebration of the freedom we're so fortunate to have.
And, you know, over the past few years, it has been interesting. We usually do it over at Lions Park by the river, and we figured we'd do it here this year, so we may be having some ball games here in the background going on, and like you said, we'll have a lot of activities for all ages, and we will have the facility here opened up so that we can use the restrooms. If you want to stay here and watch the fireworks, or if you want to find a different vantage point, you can. But bring the family and look for coming down to Frazee for the 4th of July. And like Barb said, the patriotic salute will start at 6, so we'll be setting up at 5 o'clock, so bring your gear.
That's right. We hope to see you all there.
That's great. And with that, we'll be back after the 4th for another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. Thanks, Barb.
You bet. Thank you.